Hey folks, and welcome to CarStarz' 10 Wild Facts about Colt's 82 GMC K-2500 in the 1981 TV series, The Fall Guy. Fact number 1. Although most people make reference to the Fall Guy truck as being a 1982 GMC K-2500 Sierra Grand Westside pickup, there were technically several different model years ranging from 1977 through 1986 of GMC 2500 series long bed 4x4 pickups used throughout the 5-year run of the show to portray Colt's truck. Some of these were the fully decked out hero trucks used for actor-driven scenes and close-ups, while others were specially prepped stunt trucks that we'll get into more details of a bit later on. Apparently, no one kept an exact count of just how many GMC pickups they went through in making the show, but it's safe to say that they sacrificed at least a couple dozen of them in portrayal of Colt's truck over the 5 seasons of the show, considering all the hairy stunts and crash scenes performed. Fact number 2. The majority of the K-2500 pickups used were powered by their mostly stock 350 V8 engines, outputting around 165 horsepower to a 3-speed TH350 transmission. Fact number 3. All Colt GMC pickups received heavy-duty shock absorbers with suspension lift kits and oversized Dick C-Pec Fun Country tires riding on aftermarket Stockton 8-spoke chrome wheels. As for the styling modifications that made this truck Colt's signature ride, the trucks were also fitted with a chrome single-bar roll bar with dual off-road fog and spotlights, and a custom brush guard fitted with a Warren 8274 winch. Then there's the very specific to Colt's truck Fall Guy Stunt Association hood graphic and the really cool hidden compartment that we'll get into more details of shortly. Fact number 4. Probably the most unique and custom feature of the Colt GMC pickup is the hidden bag compartment disguised as a standard appearing toolbox from the outside. This clever secret compartment is accessible from both sides of the truck, and the doors are actually part of the bed panels themselves, so it is very well disguised indeed. There's plenty of space inside as well to accommodate lots of tools, weapons, or even stuff in an apprehended bail jumper if necessary, which comes in quite handy for a bounty hunter like Colt. However, this being a rather extensive and time-costly body modification, only some of the hero trucks had this feature, and of course it was absent from the stunt trucks as well. Fact number 5. Oddly, the pilot episode of the show is the one and only episode that used a pre-1981 model GMC pickup as the primary hero truck. The dual headlight grille design of the 1980 and older GMC pickup is a quite noticeable difference when compared to the quad headlight design of the 1981 and newer hero trucks used after that episode. The pilot episode pickup also oddly lacked the signature Fall Guy Stunt Association hood decal that later became a mainstay on all Colt trucks used, hero or stunt. After the pilot episode, pre-1981 model trucks were only used as stunt trucks since they were a bit lower cost and in more plentiful supply as well. The great thing about that visual indicator being that if you see a sudden switch from the quad headlight grille design to a dual headlight grille design while watching the show, you know that a cool stunt like this is coming right up. Fact number 6. As can be plainly seen while watching the very first time they performed a big jump of one of the early stunt trucks in Season 1 without any axle modifications, the front axle actually bends so much upon landing that it slams the axle casing on the ground, busting the diff cover, not to mention the severe damages to the rest of the truck's structure too, which essentially destroyed the drivetrain and chassis every time. So, for the rest of the first season, after learning from that first big jump, the axles were reinforced to try to help preserve them and ultimately other parts as well, but it still wasn't enough and the trucks were still being practically totaled each time. Towards the end of the second season, it became apparent that the show was writing off too many stunt trucks and it was getting excessively expensive and wasteful, so they needed to find a way to extend the life of the stunt trucks. So, stunt coordinators put their heads together and came up with a quite innovative idea for the time, which was to relocate the primary weight of the vehicle, that being the engine and the transmission, a few feet back, placing them mid-chassis under the driver to help balance out the weight distribution across the whole chassis. In addition, they made further reinforcements to the chassis and axles, toughing them up even more. I say this was innovative because you have to remember this was back in 1982, which is a whole decade before even monster trucks had a mid-engine layout, so this was not a common layout at all for the time for off-road vehicles anyways. These more extensive modifications allowed the truck to land large jumps more level, distributing the force across the whole frame instead of just nosediving on the front end. Now stunt trucks can be used multiple times for larger jumps with just minor repairs instead of totaling the truck each time. Fact number 7. One odd inconsistency regarding the stunts throughout the show is that even after they had a few beefed up stunt trucks capable of repeated use, About one episode per season still contains some very obvious and poorly dubbed scale model created scenes. Although not a super unusual thing for a TV show to do at the time, the strange thing about it is that most of these scenes they used the scale models for were quite basic stunts that the real trucks could easily perform without much of any damages, as you can see here with some scale models being used for some general off-roading. Yes, I'm sure it saved them a few bucks on the handful of episodes that they used scale model stunts for, but it was certainly off-putting for fans of the show at least. Fortunately, however, the vast majority of the vehicle stunts were performed for real and look great, so we can forgive them for those few indiscretions, I suppose. Fact number 8. The Fall Guy GMC K-2500 pickup is certainly one TV vehicle star that many fans have replicated over the years with varying degrees of accuracy. High quality and accurate replicas of Colt's truck today pull down quite a chunk of change at auction too. A prime example being this excellent 1984 base replica that sold at a Barrett-Jackson auction in 2018 for $50,000. And if you think that was a hefty sum, this same replica returned to another Barrett-Jackson auction in 2022, but this time sold for nearly double that price of $99,000. Fact number 9. Believe it or not, there are actually some original screen-use trucks from the show remaining today, but very few as you might imagine. According to Kevin Webb, a Fall Guy historian and the owner of one of the surviving jump stunt trucks, his stunt truck is one of only 2 known to still exist today. Now that's what you call a very rare pickup, folks. Kevin found his screen-use Fall Guy stunt truck listed on eBay several years ago and has since given it a partial restoration to make it roadworthy again, but has left some of the original body parts untouched to maintain its heritage. So the truck is now mechanically sound and looking quite nice as he drives it around often today. Fact number 10. Interestingly enough, there has actually been a new movie in the works for quite some time now based on the original Fall Guy TV show starring Ryan Gosling and being filmed in Australia. No video trailer has been released and not much is known about the actual storyline yet, but we do know at least there will be both an original 80s Fall Guy replica truck and Lee Major cameos, as well as a modern GMC pickup interpretation, as we can see from some on-set pictures and video clip. So with any luck, hopefully we'll get to see some high-flying Fall Guy GMC pickup action once again in March of 2024 when it's set to release. Fingers crossed that this will be a non-CGI ruined movie, folks. Worst case scenario, even if the movie does end up being a disappointment, maybe it will bring enough attention back to the original Fall Guy series once again so that we could possibly get a decent and complete series set release to Blu-ray disc and or streaming services, which is something this series truly deserves and fans desperately want as well. Time will tell, I suppose. Well, there you have it, folks. Thanks for watching, and make sure to hit that subscribe button if you like what you saw here. You guys are all great. See you next time.